Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the internal hub in the Bambu P1S AMS. Now this seems to be a recurring problem with the P1S. This will be my third one that I've actually had to replace in a matter of 6 to 8 months. I am a fairly heavy printer, but you wouldn't expect it to go through that many in such a short period of time. Now the internal hub, which is this unit just here, just there, flip it over. Now it sits up underneath here and it feeds the filament from each each hub, I suppose you want to call them, through the PFT tube out the back and down to the extruder. You might have encountered this problem yourself. It just makes a really grindy noise, and it just doesn't actually feed it. It will feed the filament partial way through the tube, then it'll retract and it'll just keep on trying and it just will never happen. And you can push, force the filament through, but it still doesn't work. So I've watched quite a few YouTube videos on it, and it was mainly on just how to clean it, and that didn't work. So as I said, this is my third one replacing. I've kind of old hand at it now, unfortunately. So I think it is a quality control fault with Bambu, with the P1S anyway. I've got the P2S and I've given that a hammering in print time as well, and not the slightest issue. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, first thing you want to make sure of is make sure the power's off. Just use your standard Allen key bolt that came with your little kit box, toolbox, so to speak, with your printer. So there's 2 bolts up the back here. Just want to undo them. 1, and 2. Now they're very small bolts, so there and there. That's to start with. So just put them aside. You're not going to need any other tools apart from these Allen bolts. Disconnect your PFT tube from out the back. Now what you do is, be careful of your bracelets. You carefully lift that up, and as you're lifting it, you've got a little connector there that your PFT tube connects through. Just press that down whilst you're picking that up. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Now at the back here, you've got 2 wires connected to the hub unit, if that's what you want to call it. So you just got to disconnect one there and one there. Leave them connected to this base. Just disconnect it from the AMS housing itself, and rather easy to disconnect. Just give it a little tug. Careful not to pull the wiring right out, and I'm just going to have to put the camera down to do this second one. Okay, so I've done that and disconnected it. So now we come over here. Try and get in this angle right with this bloody tripod or my head in. It's going to have to be askew, I think. Okay, so what we want to do here is disconnect this unit just here. Can you see that properly? Yep. That's what we're replacing. So 1, 2, 3, 4 PFT tubes, which are sometimes a pain in the arse. I find just small set of pliers, you press down on the black grommet type of thing and give it a pull, and they come out quite easy that way. Now you will know what order they go back in because they pretty much self-align anyway. Okay, so we've done that. You don't want to disconnect anything, any wiring from this internal hub unit just yet. So what we'll do first is take all the screws out. I think it's the big one. Yep. Now for some reason they don't do up really tight. Maybe that's because it vibrates when it's functioning. So if you find that they're really loose, maybe that's just the way they're meant to be. Now these ones are a little bit longer than what I've pulled out. And there's 2 down the bottom here as well. Now, like I said, these are the only 2 tools you'll need. We'll need the silicone tube that came with your little toolkit. But we're not up to that stage just yet. And you will need like a razor blade too, or a Stanley knife, box cutter, whatever is handy to you. Okay, so that's disconnected from there. So this is where we'll disconnect some wiring. So that will need to be disconnected. This one, that will need to be disconnected at the hub unit. This one will be disconnected at the circuitry board. So we just take note of that. So it's 1, 2, it's the third one back from the right. So just pull that out and that's it. These 2, these wires are going to the circuit board there, but they're going to the internal hub and they will be needed to be re-glued onto the new internal hub. So I've got my little box cutter, Stanley knife, whatever. Now because I've done this before, I've coated that, put that silicone glue kind of thing on, so you just got to just trim that out a little bit. Be careful that the knife doesn't slip and cut those wires. Pick that away. Now that, make sure you've got it, any glue that's on the edge there. Now when you reapply this glue, you don't need a lot on there, so that it comes out quite easy. Now again, on this one here, just cut that glue apart, that silicone apart, peel it away. You might need to use some pliers to get some of it off, but it's not, doesn't create a strong bond, it's more of a safety thing. Okay, so they're disconnected. Now this can be a little bit tricky, but it's not really. So now we need to disconnect this motor from the internal hub unit, because as you can see, it doesn't come with one. So there's an Allen bolt in there on that side, and underneath there's another one. Now this one's really easily accessible, so we'll disconnect that one. No, not disconnect it, unscrew it, sorry. Drop that one out. Now this one, you're not going to get your Allen key in there. And if you look up through here, there's a hole right through there. You just slide your Allen key through there, line it up. Now it's not a perfect, not perfect alignment, but we'll get it in there with a little bit of wizardry, or instead of going through that hole, you can also go from underneath there. You just want to loosen it a bit, and as you can see, I've got it there. Okay, so we've done that. Get that screw out of there. Alright, that's the old one, and you can see in here there's a whole lot of crap in there. Now, I don't have a toothpick with me or anything like that, but have a look just with my little snippers here. You can disassemble all of that and give it a clean and hope for the best, which I will do, but I've already gone and purchased a replacement unit. And I must say, the times I've needed a replacement unit, they've been sold out on Bambu website themselves, and from a mob that I get my parts and my filament from in Melbourne. Now, what is it ironic that they're sold out because they're needed a lot? Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, let's get to it. So this new one, this is old one. So we're putting the old one over there so we know it's old. Now this one, again, so what we want to do is we want to get that cog into there. Now you've got 3 holes here. One is to line up on to a little lug. So that lug, I don't know if you can see it too well, there, that'll go into that middle hole there. So we put in there, and you'll know, like, turn it, slots in there. So hold some pressure on it there, or even just turn it upside down like that. Get one of your screws. Now, this one's a little trickier to put in than it was to pull out. So what you want to do, slot it in there, but obviously can't do it up here. Put that in there. Now just give it a little bit of a turn till it bites. Don't do it up the whole way yet. Okay, that's bitten there. Turn around. And we'll put the other one in here. Okay, I think I may have put the wrong one in there. Let's see there. No, Bob's your uncle, she's sweet. Okay, so we're just going to rest that there. Let's put this on the end. Pop that in there, a little bit fiddly, but keep your eye on the prize and you'll get it. Right, so we're just doing that up. Right, give it nice and tight without over tightening it. And the same again on this one. Tighten it up without over tightening it. Okay, so now we've got, you look at it, shit, I only disconnected two bits of wiring from this internal hub unit, but remember, 2 are for at the back of the AMS unit itself. So what we want is the longer ones here, and you'll see, because I've got glue on it there. Alright, so this one, now they're 2 different shape pin connectors, so there's no way you're going to get them mixed up. You can see one's a lot bigger than the other. So this one will go into here. You can't put a round peg in a square hole. So that one's in there. And this one is over here at the back or the front, whichever way you're looking at it. A little bit fiddly these things, but you get it. Right, just you'll hear it click, feel it click in. Right, at this point we've got to put some of that silicone on. So I'm just going to pause the video while I go and get the silicone out of the box. Now, when you get your little tool kit with spare parts, etc., you will get two tubes. One with the P1S is got nothing written on it. The other one says lubricant grease. You don't want to be using the lubricant grease. Okay, so it's just a blank tube. Now I've used this one before. You only need a smidgen on here just to cover it up, and I hope this hasn't gone hard. Alright, so you just need a little bit. Just cover it up. Make sure it covers up the join, because that's what we're trying to do. Now, move everything away. Now, very carefully, just move that wire out of the way. Now, it'll only go back in one spot because the motor needs to be in its little house over here. Put it in there like that. Get your screws, 4 of them. I recommend putting the top ones in first. Just until one of them bites. And like I said, they will feel loose when you undo them, and it'll feel even stranger when you do them up. Feels like they are not getting tighter at all, and you question yourself, oh, have I actually got it in the hole? But trust me, they are in the hole. They just don't do up completely to a complete bond. Okay, they're in. Okay, now we've got one wire to reconnect, and that's the motor here. So remember, 1, 2, it was 3 back from the right, looking at it. Push that back in. Okay, you get your PFT tubes, just lay them out, and they pretty much just point to what hole they go to anyway, and they're all cut to length. So all you do is get it, push it in, you feel a little bit of resistance, and they'll just click into place. Alright, give it a tug so you can't, make sure you can't pull it out. Okay, alright, now we're ready to put the unit back into the housing. Now over time, this housing, there's a screw in there, accumulates a bit of filament, excess and whatnot, so get your little blower, just give it all a blow out. Okay, now this one, make sure you're putting it in the right way. So put it down there, and now at the back here you have to reconnect this wiring. So I'm just going to try and do this the best I can so you can see. Got these up really high there, don't know if you can see that. You're on a tripod, but anyway, hope you can. So the trick here is that you've got to angle the unit back a little bit, and if you're lucky enough you'll be able to click these wires in one-handed, but sometimes you will need to do it two hands. You've got it lined up. Okay, that's that one in there. Now you slowly lower that whilst pushing in this part here. Just push it down a little bit until that lines up there. Okay, at the back, just close that lid. You've got your PFT tube here. Push that through. You see it go through there, and you feel that resistance again. Once you feel that resistance, give it a tug, make sure you can't take it out, and that's it. That's replaced. Okay folks, and that's how you replace your Bambu P1S internal hub unit into the AMS. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've learnt something, and if you did, or if you've enjoyed the video, please give a thumbs up, hit that like button below, always goes a long way and always much appreciated. Catch you next time.